Hello, everybody. Epic Mewtwo here with,
Dr.Love307.
and today we are going to be talking about some things related to Dr. Love's personal experience with Dokkan, as well as different things that the community has kind of been talking about lately. Also, thank you for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So, we're going to get right into it here. The reason why I brought my friend on here specifically was because lately he's been pretty critical of Dokkan, which, to be fair, we all have. Again, like we were talking about this on camera, very ironically that we're recording this today, right after a video where I was firing low-key shots at Dokkan. But nonetheless, we're gonna start off. So I want to know first, why did you leave Dokkan, or at least for the time being? Because I know you said that maybe you might hop back into it in the future, depending on if they step up their game.
Yeah. One of the main reasons that I kind of stopped lately was because of the business practices they've done, and specifically with it like being super obvious nowadays that obviously it's a business and they need money. But a lot of the decisions they've been doing lately have just been like blatant cash grabs, and I'm just like, and I've gotten to a point where I don't have fun with it as much because it seems as if if I'm not summoning, because I stopped paying for stones, right? So I feel like if I'm not summoning anything every 2 seconds, there's not much I'm actually doing in terms of enjoyment. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now with the game.
Right, that makes sense. Well, because, too, then you're like, if you have all of your units awakened already, unless you're just going to, grind up stuff, and you don't have the new unit to work on, what is there to do?
Yeah. Because truthfully, the gameplay's not the most, compelling feature of it, so,
Well, yeah, I know a lot of people have said this in the past, but I think this is a very truth. If this game didn't have the Dragon Ball Z label on it, it would be nowhere near, obviously, but you get my point, nowhere near as successful. Just because it has that kind of Dragon Ball label on it. It's just kind of like a puzzle game, basically, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna hop into thank you for that, by the way. We're gonna hop into a couple of the recent issues, and by recent I mean 2 days ago, no pun intended there, about some of the new cards that we've gotten. So let's start off with LR Bojack. This kind of came to a surprise to all of us, actually. I literally got home from work, I was chilling in a live stream, and then I saw a notification on my phone. I was like, what is this? I didn't believe what I saw, but it is indeed real. So how do you feel about our man, LR Bojack?
I like Bojack and everything. The Bojack movie, Bojack Unbound, is one of my personal favorite Dragon Ball movies. But, if this was a normal UR that went that went TUR or something like that, then yeah, it'd be whatever, because it's a new card. But it's an LR, it's just weird, because I'm pretty sure, I know no one in the American fan base asked for this, or the global fan base, I should say. But even in the Japanese fan base, I'm not sure a lot of people were really asking for this. So, because of all characters in all of Dragon Ball that they could have made an LR, you see Bojack. It's just kind of weird. I don't know how successful this card's gonna be. I mean, I'm assuming that they think, oh, because it's an LR, a lot of people are gonna go for it, but I don't know. I think I'm not sure, but what do you really think about it?
Right, so, no, I totally agree with you there. Because all of the previous LRs have been, really, popular characters. Well, okay, maybe not Goten and Trunks, but, out of the original LRs, everybody likes Goku Black. Over here in the Americas, we're big fans of Broly. Majin Vegeta was obviously a prominent moment in the series. And it seemed like that was, the theme before, that these are all, prominent moments or, popular characters, in the series.
Yeah.
And I can tell you personally that I'm not going to be spending a single stone on this banner. Just because, now on top of the fact that this is another LR, and all of that, it's fake featured, as Rhymestyle likes to say, which is a whole problem, in itself, where, there's just so many featured SSRs and SRs that it's almost impossible to pull the guy. But regardless of that, that's mainly why I'm not summoning on it. But, like, I've never seen the BoJack movie personally, and so, I mean, I'm not really that excited about it,
I'm not personally either. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like even as someone who's like BoJack is one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite Dragon Ball movies, and still I'm just like what? Like maybe they're trying to capitalize because we got BoJack recently in Xenoverse 2, but even still, that wasn't that recently. That was like that was a while ago at this point. But I just don't see this banner being that successful, to be honest.
Right. Like, honestly, I would think that, like, really, if I was going to summon on this banner, it would be for the other LRs, because all the other LRs are in the banner.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just a very interesting thing. Yeah, I totally agree with you, though. Like, I don't even think anyone really in Japan asked for it either, as far to my knowledge, anyway. I don't think, like, maybe the movie's good, but, like, I don't think BoJack is the most popular character in Dragon Ball, for sure. But, anyway, so, this kind of relates, we'll move on to our next point here. This kind of relates to, LR BoJack, just because of the timing of this. So we got that new LR Spirit Bomb Goku, which the art does look very cool. I really do like that, and like with all the characters in the background and stuff, but
yeah,
we got that literally a day after they announced a brand new LR. Like, I don't even know if it was 24 hours.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, we do have to keep in mind here, that we wouldn't have knowledge of the card, if it wasn't for DBZ Space and, people who data mine the game. Because obviously that was how we got the information. The official Dokkan page has yet to actually announce it. Although someone commented on the maintenance tweet, they commented the picture of the Spirit Bomb Goku.
Oh my gosh.
And literally a couple people were like, no, they'll take it down. It'll take DBZ Space down. So that was kind of funny. But I hope they don't, because it's a great resource. But,
yeah.
But their Twitter, they locked their Twitter and everything. Well, Dokkan info got locked and stuff. But
yeah,
regardless, it's still like, even though, we're not really supposed to know about it, like, it just kind of shows even so that they're just like churning these guys out. Okay, so we're gonna talk about two here, that this is potentially a free LR. A lot of people are talking about it because of the 99 team cost. He currently doesn't have any other cards that he awakens from, like all the other LRs do, even the free ones. So that was actually very interesting. That was just kind of weird to me in the beginning. But people are speculating that he might be a 1,000-day login bonus. People are saying that he might be a part of this new mode that was just announced on JP. We don't really know how he's going to be entering the game, but the point still stands, is that, like, give us a break. Like, you said that on Twitter. I'm literally quoting you at you right now.
Yep.
Like, it's a free LR and that's cool, but like, if people are, going hard for BoJack and they want to work on him and you're like getting him awakened and stuff, and then they're already dropping that on us, like, I know he's not in the game yet, but like, take a chill pill.
Right? Like,
I guess is the bottom line.
It's because it's not even that he's free, because I know a lot of people were like, oh, you're complaining even though he's free. If an LR, if you have to summon for it, or if they're free, that's not the main issue. It's just that, even especially at this point in that being leaked as something new right after we got LR BoJack, it just proves that there's just too many LRs at this point. Like, there was a point in time when the LR was really something special, because one, there weren't that many in the game, and two, because you had to work like super hard to get them. Now, especially with the summonable LRs, it's not even a lot to awaken them. Like, we have LR Goku, Frieza, Broly, Majin Vegeta, Goten and Trunks, another Goku, Trunks, freaking like Ginyu. Like there's a lot of LRs in this game now, and it's like if they're gonna be releasing them back to back like this, I mean they already kind of were before, but it's getting to the point when it's ridiculous. Like they're not giving us a break for anything. Before they weren't giving us a break for like a 120% units and stuff like that, and now it's going to LRs because you can't beat, and like LR is still the top dog in this game in terms of like a type of unit you have. So if they're pumping
like
those
LR
up,
Gohan's still the best. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say LR unit, LR. Oh my gosh, LR unit. LR Gohan is still the best card in the game. That's all I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, LR Gohan. That's another one I forgot to mention. And it's like, you know, if they're gonna keep pumping them out back to back, even with the LRs, and those are the top dogs, then it's like, what else are you looking for? You know, it's just overwhelming. For whether you're free to play or pay to play, either way, it's really overwhelming.
And especially if you're a person who wants to like collect them all.
Yeah.
That hurts too, but I guess that's more of a personal thing. But either way, I totally agree with you. Like, to be perfectly honest with you, going way back to when LR Gohan first came out, I didn't have a problem with him because I thought that, like, besides the free ones, he was going to be the only LR.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least that was just me, but even
at least
so,
for a while.
Right. But, like, even so, even if that mindset was wrong to begin with, like, the reason why I thought that was because LR Gohan was like this, like, you know, illustrious, like, super powerful card that you could only get by, you know, summoning, like, a 1 in 1 billion chance. Not literally, but,
yeah,
you know.
It was a really
so,
low
like,
drop rate.
Right. And so I felt like they maybe should have just kept it like that because, you know, that just made him, like, literally a legendary rare, just like it is.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but they are churning them out pretty fast. You know, at this point, have you actually managed to pull any?
LRs?
Yes.
No, bro. I have no LRs. The only ones I have that can awaken to LRs are all the free ones. It's just Goku. Mm-hmm. Well, not all. Yeah, I have LR Goku, LR Frieza, and LR Piccolo, but all of them are one stage away from being an LR.
Right. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Because by this point, I know I've told you before, obviously, but I've pulled 2 myself, one on Global and one on JP.
Yeah.
And, of course, it's just like, you know, all the luck of the draw, you know, because, like, I literally got Gohan on, like, my second multi on the last Rising Dragon Carnival banner, which, you know, lucky, but I got Majin Vegeta on the second discount multi-summon on the AGL banner, so that was just luck, too, but, like, remember Alex put 1,000 stones into that banner, and he didn't get LR Majin Vegeta? And then the summon after that, he got him? Like, literally the single summon after that. So, like, that's just showing you how big of, like, you know, a cash grab this is at that point. Because people are willing to spend, you know. Now, I'm not saying Alex stole our stones. That was unrelated. But, you know, like, people are just willing to drop that much money. And, you know, maybe I'm criticizing them, and I don't mean to if I'm doing that. But, like, you know, it's working, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess is the point I'm trying to make with all these LRs. All right. Let's move on to the next one. This one should be a quick one. Me and you have talked about it before. The community has talked about it time and time again. The good old friend system.
Dude, that system sucks. They need to update that. Like honestly, it's so annoying getting like the newer card or like one that it like whether they're new or new as in like they were the most recent like card or two that came out, and then you don't have any friends that you can use them for, so like they're just kind of sitting there on a team that you can't even use. That junk is so annoying.
Yeah, it is. Like I was telling you earlier, I literally can't run, you know, my Cooler team, Kid Buu team, or Super 17 on Global just because nobody runs him. You know? Or if they do, I have no way to find them. You know, and like, people have come up with so many different solutions for this. You could search for it, you know, by card, you know, by type, you know, type, extreme, you know, whatever, there's just got to be a better way to go about this. Because, like, leader skills are at the core of this game. Like, it didn't used to be like that, sure, but, like, at this point in the meta, leader skills are the name of the game,
Yep.
When the new powerful leader skill comes out, everybody wants it, and that's how you beat the new events, really. Now, obviously, the 120 leads can still keep up in the events of today, which is nice, because I love a lot of my 120 teams. But nonetheless, you need those leader skills to function. Otherwise, all those cards that you pulled for that one banner unit that maybe you spent however many stones, it doesn't matter. Because you can't use them.
Exactly.
So,
half my units that are really good, I can't even use like that. It's annoying. Like Buhan, I love using Buhan. I can't make him my leader. I mean, he's not like the most optimal thing now, but still, it's fun to have some of these cards as leaders. It's kind of annoying. You kind of see like the same leaders every now and then, like LR Goku, Vegito Blue, Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, stuff like that. You don't see a lot of diversity. And I know that you can refresh the thing, but a majority of the time, either way, it's still the same people using the same leaders,
Oh, right. Like, I've spent a half an hour looking for a leader and I can't find it. Like, refreshing over and over. And then, too, when you accidentally back out of that screen, you have to go keep refreshing until that point that you were at to keep
exactly
looking, which is dumb. I don't know if that was intentional. Maybe not. But nonetheless, it's there. So, yeah. It's just kind of ridiculous, Like, and I'm totally, like, at fault here, too, because, I run, like, pretty much all of those leads, except for Super Saiyan 4 Goku, that you mentioned, and, like, but that's because I can't find anything else.
Exactly.
Like, I pulled Kid Buu. I was telling you, I pulled you. Oh my gosh, I pulled him twice. There we go. On the Frieza banner, I can't even use him, and the Kid Buu team isn't even half bad on JP right now. Like, I mean, mine specifically, for the units that can be on that team anyway. So, I guess we can move on. But the bottom line is, it needs to be fixed. Just give us some way to search for a leader, I suppose. Because,
right.
At this point, we're having to go to Discord or Twitter and ask people to add us. Like, that's ridiculous.
Right.
I don't know. All right. We'll move on from the friend system. This one is just kind of dumb. It's a change that should have been in the game a long time ago. HD card art.
Yeah. Like, because I know they improved the card art in terms of, like, the detail, but they're still very pixelated. Like, it's pixelated to the point where every other gacha game they make, the card art is in HD, but Dokkan still isn't. They're able to pump out all these LRs and URs and TURs and events like they're nothing, but they can't even upload an HD picture of the card art. Like,
right. Like
come
why?
on.
Like, why? And, like, you even see all these people, like, people, like, on DeviantArt and stuff, like, people in the community, just, like, make them high-quality renders, like, right after they come out,
Exactly.
Like, now, I personally don't know how to do it. I'm sure it's not that hard, but, like, obviously it isn't, if they're uploading them that easy. And, like, how hard is it for, Bandai Namco to do that themselves? So,
exactly.
and, like, I like using the official, like, art for stuff in my videos, but, like, half the time the stuff on the thumbnail is blurry, and that's not even my fault. It's just because it's naturally blurry.
If you look up a lot of the Dokkan card art on Google and go to the images, a lot of it is just, it's not that good quality. Like, it just really isn't.
And, like, we were talking about, too, earlier, like, this isn't, I guess, the art, but still kind of included. Like, some of the super attack animations are just terrible.
Right?
Like we were talking about Timebreaker Bardock earlier. Oh, excuse me. My bad. Goten Black. My mistake. But when he charges like at the screen in the beginning, it's so pixelated. Like, I could grind cheese on that boy. Like,
oh my gosh.
It's disgusting. Like, just looking at that, like, like I don't even want to look at it. Like it's a really cool animation, but if it was in HD, you know, like Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku has that problem, like we were talking about before too. Goku Jr. is a little bit better, but he's still pixely in some areas.
Yeah. And same with the Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku. It's a lot of, you can tell in game a lot of the times when their super attack involves them like dashing up close to the screen. It's like, you know?
Yeah. And like, I don't understand why. You know, like, why can't they just make it HD? You know what I mean?
Right?
Like, I don't think it's that difficult. Like, Dokkan is already a huge game in terms of memory. If that's the problem, no.
Exactly.
Because the game is big, you know? Like, I mean, I'd be willing to download a whole nother gigabyte if it meant having that HD card art. I know some people can't have that space on their phone, but, like, I'm just saying that personally. I would totally do that. So, you know, I don't know. I just feel like there's no excuse for it at this point. I was talking about, again, me uploading that video about the Shonen Jump game, Ode Collection, yesterday, and talking about, you know, like, the card art on that game, and I know you've played it too. And just, like, the super attack animations, you know, like, they're more the manga style, but, like, it's in crisp HD. So, I don't know. That's another game made by Bandai. I just feel like they don't have an excuse, you know, at this point. All right, let's move on to our next point. We're almost done here. I know that, whoa, this is getting longer than I expected. I apologize. Easy events. So this we can kind of relate to the fact that we're going to sound like, you know, we're totally full of ourselves here, but you know, we'll relate it to that. But the events are very easy, or
very
I should
easy.
say anyway, for someone who has even like 120 lead, or like I meant like 120 lead, like if you just have Gogeta, like in Gogeta, you're set. You know, like even if it's a type disadvantage event, he still hits through all types. Oh my gosh, the voice crack was terrible. I'm low-key sick, so don't mind me. But regardless, you know, it's like for us who have like, I have almost every hero 120 lead except for Goku and Vegeta. You know, I have Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4. You know, I have Vegito Blue. I have Rose. You know, all of these teams can, and LR Gohan now, but I run him on the Gogeta team. But like, all of these teams can beat these events, you know? Like with ease. And I know that you have plenty of 120 leads as well. So, you know, like, a lot of these events are just easy. Now, I know that we might get some comments on this video, you know, talking about how, you know, for free-to-play players who, you know, can't put as many stones into banners as we can to pull these units and, you know, potentially dupes, you know, they might still, well, I mean, at this point, I don't know how you haven't pulled, like, a 120 lead. Like, you'd have to be really unlucky, I think. You know,
right,
like,
because they're really common nowadays.
Yeah, they're in, like, there's a couple in pretty much every banner now. I'm not talking about global, I'm talking about JP, just to clarify.
Like, I got Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Physical Gotenks both on random singles I did one day. Like, there's a good way you can get them, unless your luck is really that bad, like, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, it's just, I just feel like they should make them a little bit harder. And then for the free-to-play players, you know, those missions are still okay. You know, like, I'm sorry if you're still running, like, Super Vegito as your only lead. You know, like, but at this point, too, like, you know, I guess unless you've put money into your account, you know, you can always re-roll to get a new 120 lead. You know, especially if you are free to play, like the people that we are talking about in this situation. I know you've put a lot of work into your account, but, like, that's what I do with my old global. I literally couldn't pull anything. I think I have, like, Buhan and Vegito Blue on there. Now, Vegito Blue I pulled after I let that account go, but I re-rolled for, who did I re-roll for? I don't remember who it was for, but on global I re-rolled for, it was somebody good, regardless. And, you know,
Yeah.
now I have a bomb account. I have LR Majin Vegeta on there. You know, I have both Super Saiyan 4s, a bunch of villain leads and so. So, like, I feel like they should leave the events, or maybe just make different events for those people that might not have those leads. And then just, like, you know, another boss rush would be good. You know, maybe it's time to introduce Super 3, as silly as that might sound. You know, that might be a solution. You know, making the events just that much harder. Because, you know, like, even if, like, you know, Gogeta had, like, 1 billion health bars, but that didn't mean that he wasn't, you know, hard.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like that they should, you know, they have to find a good medium. Now, I know, too, that this game really isn't free-to-play friendly. There's lots of other gacha games that are very much free-to-play friendly. You know, Fire Emblem Heroes is a great example of that. They give out orbs up the wazoo. You know, so I feel like they should just find a good balance, I guess.
Yeah.
And two, real quick, we'll just back off of that with, at this point, and I know this is part of the reason too, like you were talking about at the beginning, why you're kind of burned out with Dokkan, is just like we were saying, like, our accounts are so good that we can beat any event, and, like, what is there to do?
Yeah. Unless you're,
go ahead.
Because truthfully, and because another thing is this game doesn't have multiplayer, and a lot of the other, well, not a lot of the, but a good handful of the other ones do. So there's other ones that don't have
Pokemon
multiplayer
Duel
also,
is entirely based. Sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say Pokemon Duel is entirely based on multiplayer.
Exactly. So
yeah, go ahead.
In this game, for not for everybody, because not everyone's the same, but for a lot of people, the main like drive for the game is being able to get the new unit, awaken them, you know, level them up and all that stuff, and use them on the new events. But if you're not summoning every single day on this game, and you already have like a majority of your people like awaken and stuff, you're not really doing much. So, you know.
Right. You know, like, sure, you can, like, make up games and, like, you know, bring, like, not as good cards, but that doesn't fix the problem. That's just like putting a band-aid over a giant gash.
Yeah.
You know? And so, you know, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like at this point I have so much good stuff on JP. Like I was telling you earlier, I feel like I'm summoning more than I'm playing the game because, you know, I summon the new card, grind that boy up, you know, SA10, get him awakened, and now I try him out on a team for a couple days, and now what do I do with him?
Exactly.
So, you know, sure, you can, like, grind some of the story events and stuff. Like, I was grinding a bit of the free-to-play Ultra Instinct Goku today. But, you know, anyway. I guess we'll move on from that. We have 2 more things. I know I said 2 more before, but you reminded me of something that I forgot. And I know this video is getting very long, but, oh, that's really long. I apologize. I know, but it's important to talk about this stuff because, like I said in yesterday's video, we're only criticizing it because we like the game.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't be talking about this stuff if we didn't enjoy it. We'd just be like, oh, it's stupid, you know, and leave it be. Like, we're trying to give constructive criticism and, like, talk about this because it's important for the game and the future of the game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's talk a little bit about PvP. I know you specifically made a video on this, which is very good, too. You know, you were talking about, and you were just talking about PvP a little bit. How do you think that it would, like, impact Dokkan as a whole? Because I feel like it would draw in even more players than there are now and definitely reboot some that have, you know, left the game, such as yourself.
Yeah, it definitely would. Like, even with me with Naruto Blazing, like, I've had like 3-4 accounts in that game, and the other ones I kind of just left on there just for whatever, or either just kind of like left them forever or came back and made another one. But when they added PvP, that's when I was like, oh snap, like, you know, okay, let me actually get back onto this. And I don't do the PvP much because it's super meta and all this stuff and blah blah blah, but I've mentioned ways where if Dokkan, where they could keep it balanced and all that type of stuff, and you could still have fun with it. So I know a lot of people even said, like, you know, one of the main things for the game, man, I really just wish there was PvP. And there have been times when I did polls on Twitter, I'd say, what do you think the game needs? A majority of the time, people, like, the first thing they said was just PvP. Like, literally just add PvP. That'll make me play the game a lot more. So it would do a lot more than they think it would. I don't feel like they need to update the game just because, like you said earlier in the video, they're just making loads of money. But that doesn't mean
Right.
that, you know, the game can't still get supported besides just releasing new units, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right. That's what I think too. And like, even like, I know in your video you were saying that like, you know, they can still use the orb system, you know, they can still make that work. But like, they don't even need to do that. Like, now, I'm not saying Dokkan Battlefield because Dokkan Battlefield was a flop, but
Yeah.
I'm saying in the way of like, make an entirely new game mode, and that's okay. You know, like, they don't have to be stuck on the orbs. I don't think that's their problem, you know.
Yeah.
But still, you know, it could be an entirely different thing, you know. And like, another game that does PvP really well actually is, I don't know if you've ever played it, but My Hero Academia Smash Tap.
Yeah. They have PvP? I mean,
Yeah.
is it or is it like
It's
co-op?
it's co-op, yeah. So I guess it's not PvP, but like there's a single player mode and they do still use the same game mechanics. It's like basically you're all doing a boss battle together, like a raid, I suppose.
Okay.
So, you know, even they could do something like that, like have
Yeah.
a multiplayer aspect where you're working together. You know, obviously people want PvP because, you know, Dragon Ball is all about fighting.
Yeah. Because
but-
they have co-op in Naruto Blazing too for like raids and stuff like that as well.
Really?
Like, imagine doing boss rush with a friend. Like, that'd be
That'd
so
be
cool.
awesome. That'd be dope. Hey, we'd be on that as soon as that update dropped.
Right?
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I know, right?
Yeah, a man can dream. I need to play Naruto Blazing just to see the PvP mode, to be honest.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I'm not the biggest Naruto fan myself. That's just because I never watched it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But nonetheless, we're moving on to our last point, finally. We're getting to talk about the cash grab. Ultra Instinct Goku. I'm not talking about in the series. That special was awesome.
Right?
I'm talking about the card. They released this man with no Dokkan Awakening, of course no event to go along with him, a seemingly incomplete leader skill for like what the category leads have been as of recent, and his super attack is quite lackluster for a Dokkan Festival unit.
Yeah.
So it seems like, now I guess I have to say that people have just been speculating this because we really haven't got a confirmation that he'll Dokkan Awaken. We're just all assuming that. And I guess low-key we're all just hoping that.
Right.
Because otherwise it'll be not that good. But nonetheless, this was just like a clear cash grab, and we're just kind of driving the point home at this point, like kind of with the LRs that they're like just trying to make money off of them by, you know, just pumping them out. Like, they were obviously riding off the hype of the episode, and that's okay. They did that with Vegito Blue too, but they did it like maybe a week or so-ish. I might be wrong on the timing, but they did it at least a decent amount of time after the episode aired. You know,
Yeah.
they got an event for him, you know, based on the episode. You know, all of his super attacks looked Subarashi. He had a Dokkan Awakening, you know. So
Yeah.
this was just like, I guess we're just driving the point home at this point that like it's just kind of a cash grab. Now, like, even I'm still trying to summon for him. I know a lot of YouTubers all wanted him, and it's just because he's cool, you know. But like, I feel like it's okay to ride off of hype. You know, like, I'll admit it, I do that too, you know. That it's sad to say, but that's kind of part of the way that you get YouTube views these days, which kind of stinks, you know.
Yeah.
But for some videos at least, of course you make what you love, but like, you know, you got to talk about the relevant topics when they're relevant is what I'm trying to get at least. And so, you know, that's obviously why they did this, but like, they could have just waited a little bit, you know. And I know we were talking about before too, he really doesn't have like a signature attack, you know, like Vegito Blue has, you know, the final well, I guess Vegito, but you know, has the final Kamehameha, and then, you know, he had the Spirit Sword for the Undokkan Awakened one. Like, even that was still cool, you know, like the Undokkan Awakened one for him. But like, you know, and I guess the same goes for Rosé as well. You know, they were both. He was complete as well. You know, super attacks in check. He was really Subarashi, I guess. But you know, it's just kind of ridiculous that they oh my gosh, release. There we go. A card like this. You know, that they just like throw it out there because they've never done something like this before. At least as far as anyone can remember, it seems. Do you remember them ever doing something like this?
Mm-mm.
No, yeah, that's what I thought. So, you know, this was just clearly riding off the hype, which is okay, like I said, but, you know, like, put some work into it. Like, that's, I think, part of the thing that we want to see, you know, in this game. Like, put some, like, you know, like, crack down, you know, get on that grind. And I don't mean in the game, I mean making the game. You know, and, like, even just those simple changes would be enough to make, you know, at least a little bit of the fan base a little bit happier. But
Yeah.
I think that's all we've got. I know this video was quite long, longer than we both intended it to be, but that's okay. You know, we needed to get this stuff out. You know, it's important to talk about this. It's, you know, important for our voices to be heard. I know I'm a considerably smaller channel than you, but nonetheless, you know, we still have a platform to speak our mind, you know,
Yeah.
on this kind of stuff, and people listen apparently. I mean, I'm just a nerd surrounded by a bunch of figures in my room, like, you know. But, like, you know, so, you know, sometimes people just don't want to speak up, but I don't know. I guess the Dokkan community is pretty loud, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
So I guess that's not a problem, but the point I'm trying to make is it's important to talk about this stuff. So with that all being said, my friend, do you have anything else to add to this?
Nah, I think we got all the points for the most part. Yeah.
Even if we're just memeing at Bandai a little bit,
I ain't got
throwing
nothing.
shots. All right, well, I'll leave off with the note with more dragons. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how you thought of everything, you know, that we talked about in this video. I know we covered a lot. If you are still here, thank you for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. I know this is a big chunk out of your day, and I certainly appreciate it. I know my co-host here, Dr. Love, appreciates it as well. Sticking around for the whole video. And speaking of yourself, thank you for coming on today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Yeah, and hey, we should do more collabs in the future, whether it's about Dokkan or not.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, you pick up Xenoverse 2 for the Switch and we'll talk.
Hey, maybe one day.
Hey, there you go. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and until the next one, Epic Mewtwo out. Peace.